Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Seilhamer. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Today, I'm here to present the campus experience is the digital experience. Make it mobile. A little bit about me. My name is Ryan Seilhamer. I am the Assistant Director of Mobile Strategy and Innovation at the University of Central Florida. I have managed the campus mobile app, the UCF mobile app, at the University of Central Florida since 2014. In addition to managing the campus mobile app, I work on other mobile projects across the university in academic and campus life. And I've been a Moto user since 2016. So I'm really excited to tell you a little bit about some other applications today. So let's go ahead and jump in. So let's talk about the student's academic journey. And in fact, this is going to be the topic of our presentation today. So in 2020, it's been a really interesting year. And one of the things that many schools have had to do is they've had to rethink, or react to what role a mobile app plays on their campus. This is a really good opportunity for campuses to look at those apps and how they're serving students, staff, faculty, and maybe their community as a whole. So today we're going to talk about a couple different use cases. We're going to talk about 10 use cases to be specific. And these use cases are going to highlight, that student academic journey from prospective student all the way to graduation and all the way to alumni. And what I really like about this presentation is it's going to highlight Appademy Award winners. And you may be asking, what's an Appademy Award? An Appademy Award is a series of awards that Moto Labs gives out every year to different campuses. There's 48 different nominations for 2020 for 10 different categories. So as we go through this presentation, you're going to see little silver trophies and gold trophies, and those are going to show you which schools were Appademy Award winners, so you can see the best. But maybe every school here didn't win Appademy Award, but there's plenty of really great examples to show today that you can learn from. So let's get started. So the first one we're going to talk about is recruiting and empowering accepted students. So, there's a lot of activities that students usually would be doing on campus. And they usually would be seeing this as they get onto the campus for the first time, but because of COVID, that may not be happening. Things such as campus tours and other recruitment efforts. So, with that and looking at your application and keeping that in mind, what's a great way to bring these experiences that were traditionally on campus back to the mobile application? So some examples here, looking at NAU, this accepted student experience was created by a current student and gives access to all the things someone would have gotten when they got to campus. So it includes things like study abroad programs, internship opportunities, different research opportunities, global programs, and much more in a really nice package. And you can see here right in the center with St. Francis College, they rapidly developed the prospective student and an admitted student persona as a response to COVID-19, so they could reach out to those students. So during the process, they discovered that one of the events was happening the same day, and they were able to send a push notification with the link to the event and see traffic increase coming via the app and the leverage communication. So it's really nice that you can have these tools like push notifications to immediately reach out to students and prospective students and other populations of your application to really bring them in. Now, introducing the student to the new academic life. So new student orientations, and I think new student orientations are vital to a campus app. It's really important to attract freshmen and sophomores and your transfer students to your application because they traditionally need it more than any other population. So the first one here on the left is the University of Central Florida, and we have a really robust face-to-face orientation on campus and on campus every year. But this year we had to redo it. So we did some different things as well. We had an opt-in channel for students to be able to get communication directly through their mobile app. We were able to have it where they had quick polls, so they were able to answer poll questions, and we were able to get a quick pulse how they were feeling. and also be able to have a photo gallery where students could share images of their photo gallery, which was really nice because it couldn't be there face to face. It was really critical for students to still feel like they were engaged and you could see other students as well. So really reimagining that, we're seeing this as well with these other universities on these slides as well, where they're looking at reimagining what that welcome week will look like or what that orientation will look like for the age of COVID and beyond. Now, keeping the first year student engaged. So, these students have already been admitted and they've gone through orientation and now they're in their first year. So the first year for a student, is pretty tenuous. Nationally, the retention rate is only about 74% or so, which is why schools utilizing their apps to create and send personalized content and timely push notifications to those students is vital. You want to make sure that you're staying with them, communicating with them, so they don't feel lost and they still feel engaged. So two examples that we have here. The first one is the University of Akron, and they're using the app to allow students to attend an event. So they fill out a survey that captures and stores their name, their email, and auto submits the timestamp survey. So you can say, hey, you're checked in and you're ready to go, which is really great. The student then receives a personal push notification confirming that they've been checked into the event and provided additional links, additional materials for post-event surveys. So keeping that student engaged, they fill it out, they see that notification, they feel like they're an active part of that community. The next one here is Finlay. So a really good example of driving people to the app and engaging them with virtual events and communication. So previous to the app being the main point for communications, there was just way too many channels, such as Facebook groups, and now the app is the one place to go. So you can look at this example here where they're doing their online game show every day. So really trying to hone in that communication and bring it to one source so a student has one place where they can get that communication and stay engaged. So now we're going to talk about the distributed experience, or as we call a switch. And this is that pause button that a lot of us put into our app or put into our academic life this year, particularly because of what's happened with COVID. So we've asked to engage students very differently than we have in the past. And this had us switch the way we looked at our app to make it a more distributed experience. And this theme is, about how schools are providing that remote and hybrid campus experience to their students by leveraging their campus mobile app. So a couple examples here. We look on the left, Ontario Tech. If you look at the banner at the top, they did a great job at keeping people up to date. At the bottom of the screen, you can see those important dates as well. So keeping students engaged and letting students know those important dates as those dates did change over time, and things did change or have changed so far this year. Cypress College, great job using communication to drive people to digital events and digital town halls during the months of the quarantine to keep everyone informed and connected. So letting students know that they do have a voice and this is how they can connect with their community. UNCG, they did really great things. We have a virtual campus tour, which is vital. You want students to feel engaged with their campus and be excited about going to that campus. So having those virtual tours, help influence the student's decision. This tour experience was created by collaboration with student leadership, who usually does all the tours on campus. And the last one over here is Finlay with their new student orientation, and it's very similar to UCF, having to retool or recreate that student experience for NSO to meet the needs of students that can't physically be on campus. Next, we're going to talk about keeping students healthy. So in 2020, this is even more important. So we're not just looking at physical health, we're also looking at mental health, we're looking at financial health, and we're going to see, and we're going to look at what some universities are doing to try to help students be connected to these services even remotely. So the first thing we look at here is San Francisco State University. And what they did is they took a very intuitive approach by asking what the user is feeling, According to that, pointing them to a specific resource that applies to that stress. Or the University of Houston here in the middle, they have their Cougar walking paths, and they promote those walking paths of varying distance that any user can access in the map layer to follow the path. Virtual programs, virtual workouts, FAQs on health, wellness, and prevention. So they have lots of different things, not just those Cougar walking paths, but a lot of different resources that are really easy to find and right there in your pocket. So next, we're going to talk about making students' lives easier with personalized features. So we've talked about information campuses can provide for communication they send, but what's the next step? This is where it becomes more about the individual user and not just I'm a student here, but really personalizing that content. So we have an example here from San Marcos, and they're highlighting 3 of the top features that personalize the student experience. The first is a student log in which they see their student ID, their name, their profile picture, and even a barcode that they can use for contactless check-in into events, access to buildings and libraries. Right here in the middle, we have dining hours and the availability to check those lines. So they can even, you see at the top where it says check the line, they can clap on a camera and they can physically see a video of those lines to know, maybe I should wait to go to the Starbucks or the coffee cart. And the last one is parking availability, really important. So as people come on the campus, they know exactly where they can park to be able to start their day, not to spend precious time driving around the university. Now, the 7th is the app evolution and expansion. So when we look at app evolution and expansion, it's for universities that previously had an app, and now over time, that app has grown depending on the need or depending on the different functions that the university has. For instance, maybe even something like what we have with COVID-19 in 2020. So on the left side here at UCF, we completely redesigned our faculty and staff section. We brought more attention to the COVID resources at the top to make it easy for faculty and staff to be able to fill out the COVID self-checker, get different information. So it's not just the services here, but it's focusing on one specific item, which is COVID, which is really important to all of us right now. Right here in the middle at North Carolina Central University, their app is it's a largely student-driven redesign of their existing app. They thought about what was really important here. So you can see there's a couple different dynamic blocks. For instance, we have computer availability. So computer availability was really important to students, and this dynamic block changes. So every time they open up the app, they can see what computers are available. And then here on the all the way on the right side with Swinburne University in Australia, they went through an entire redesign and made a really fantastic looking home screen. So just really sometimes just updating the aesthetics of your app can be enough to drive users back. So the next is empowering students to speak up and create. So one really neat thing about the Modo platform is that it not only allows your users to make suggestions for input, but also can allow your users to work on the platform itself. So when we look here on the left side, we see the Penn State Go app. And even though students didn't work on the application, they were a very big part of the process. So when Penn State was developing an application, they had multiple user tests. So students could give feedback on the design, on the feature choices. They even let them select the name and had a vote on the name. So really student driven. And what's really nice about that is in the majority of campus apps, the student is the #1 user, current student. So investing time is a smart way to design your app and build your app. And right here, Cypress College here in the middle. So this is another fantastic example of having a student team that has worked on numerous projects, including the international student experience, student ID services, transfer services, and more. So this is a very student-built app as opposed to Penn State, which is a student-focused app from the research and the input standpoint. So the next team here is getting them to graduation. So this might be the most important reason students attend college, to graduate and become successful. And there are some examples that I want to show you here from different colleges. So the first one is the American Public University System, and they have a really nice integration with their LMS, which is Sakai, where students who log in and get personal notifications when their work has been graded or there's a new discussion post. Um, and it really drives students back to the application and keeps them thinking about their classes and keeps them engaged. Next one is Ivy Tech. And one of the really neat things about Ivy Tech, as you look here at the top where it says complete, is it shows students their completion anytime that they open up the application. So this is really great. So they see this when they log in, a great way to get motivated and understand where you are on your journey to graduation. And the last one here is at California State University Northridge, and they're using Moto Marketplace for their campus to help at-risk students by selling and giving away things that they don't need anymore. So really creating that sense of community and belonging at a university. And the last one is commencement and alumni, and really important to celebrate, students graduating and also welcoming your alumni and keeping them engaged with your campus mobile app as you move forward. So as we're looking here at the University of Finland, they had a virtual commencement in their app this year, since we can't physically have those commencements. And one of their traditions is walking under the arch. And they were able to create a video of walking under the arch, as you can see here with the arch ceremonies. As we move over to UNCG, they created a persona specifically for graduation. So you could open up the app and you could experience one commencement experience. And the last example over here is Illinois College. And a very interesting story here is they added an alumni experience, and they really took advantage of the communication features and had a lot of really great outcomes, including one which was increasing donations from their alumni. So even though these students still are not current students, they should still consider how you can keep them engaged in the university moving forward. So in closing, a campus mobile app experience is a must-have for Gen Zers as they go throughout their college career, from a freshman all the way to alumni. And what I really wanted to show you today, looking at these award-winning applications and others, is it's not just about the academic life, but it's also about the campus life. It's about the communication. It's about the community as well. And a campus mobile app will allow you to leverage that. So taking advantage of that will be really great for your students and really great for your community. Thank you, everyone.
Visit our virtual EDUCAUSE booth to see the apps in action, get our playbooks, case studies, and more.